Wow, what a week. In the last 7 days, I've been in Mallorca, London, and now back in Melbourne. And through all of it, I've kept thinking about one thing in particular. Let me explain. So I am back in London after a couple of days in Mallorca. I'm completely exhausted. But on my way over here, I was thinking a lot about the wedding and how I almost missed it. In fact, I'm pretty sure I was the last person to RSVP. But you know what? I'm so glad that I went. So I think life and business is all about trade-offs. And sometimes those trade-offs are a little bit more straightforward and easier to make. An example of this is this week is London Tech Week, but on Thursday night, back in Melbourne in Australia, it is also the launch of Gala, which is probably one of the largest events for the tech community. It brings together over 500, 600 people that are sort of highly relevant for us with the various businesses that I run. And so as much as I would love to be here in London for the whole week, given that I'm already here, I can sort of run that through spreadsheet, work out the ROI. And the decision was that actually tonight I'm heading into London for an event put on by the Victorian government to support Victorian startups that are expanding into London. And then I fly out back to Melbourne tomorrow. As much as I would have loved to have been here, it just made total sense for me to head back. But sometimes those decisions are a little bit more complicated.
Thank you everybody for welcoming me here.
The event was great. It was really busy. I got there a little bit late and I just got so deep into conversations that I didn't actually take a lot of content over there. But ended up running into John, who is one of our Como Club members from Melbourne, who's recently moved over to Malaga. Got to meet his wife for the first time, bumped into some other people that I knew from Melbourne, but also connected with a bunch of really interesting people doing cool things over in London. So, successful event. It is also very late now, and I just realised I haven't eaten all day, which is not good. All in all, I came back to Melbourne specifically for this event this evening, and you know what? These things can be a little bit hit and miss, and there's never a guaranteed outcome with any of these sort of things. I definitely believe in planting seeds. So, not that you need an ROI from every activity, but a lot of it is just like, putting yourself out there and seeing, if anything, having the opportunity for something to happen. And I wouldn't say that, walked away with new Como Club members specifically, but again, like I said, met some interesting people. There's definitely some follow-up conversations around partnerships or like learning about things. Yeah, it's just always fun. Exhausting, draining, but definitely worthwhile. And I think for any company, especially Victorian startups that are looking to expand globally, definitely worth chatting to the Victorian government and the work that they do through Global Victoria, Invest Victoria, to support businesses expanding globally. So, all right, that's it from me. I'm going to eat some food and call it a night. All right, so one of the less glamorous parts about building businesses is that you are always on. And at Heathrow now, just waiting for my flight. Just got a text about a portfolio transaction that we're doing for Playbook Ventures. And so about to hop on a call and see what's going on. All right, so I am at Heathrow Airport now, about to board a long flight to Dubai and then an even longer flight from Dubai directly to Melbourne. But while I've got a couple of minutes here before I have to head off, I've been thinking a little bit about trade-offs. And, I think oftentimes we sort of think it's between a good decision and a bad decision. It's just a matter of kind of finding the right decision. Where I think actually a lot of the time when there's so many opportunities and so many things you can do, you're actually deciding between two really good options. And in some ways it's easy to make decisions when they're sort of business related because you can gauge which one has a better ROI. There are probably more clearer ways of sort of making those decisions. Some more unclear ones are when it involves life. And it's much more difficult to quantify and measure those things. And, I experienced that a little bit over the last few weeks and months, trying to decide and juggle everything that I'm doing business-wise and, every big thing that we've got going on right now, and how I need to be really present and just make sure that I'm not letting opportunity slip. But at the same time, have also important life events like my friend's wedding that deep down I think I knew that I was always going to go to, but had to justify taking some time off to go there and travel to Europe and everything for it. So overall, I think as much as you can't necessarily quantify and measure that, I think the bigger thing for me is less around making the decision with the most ROI or the right decision. It's making a decision around the things that matter most to me. And yeah, I think this wedding was amazing. Such an incredible experience to celebrate with a good friend, catch up with a lot of friends from uni that I haven't seen in a very, very long time. Yeah, it's a struggle and it's a work in progress, but definitely something that I want to keep prioritizing and making time for in my life. All right, I think we're about to start boarding now, so I'm going to run, but I'll see you in Dubai.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dubai, where the local time is 12:55 in the morning.
So I made it to Dubai. It's about a 7.5 hour flight from London. Now it's a long part of the leg, so it's 13.5 hours from Dubai to Melbourne. So it's going to be interesting. But while I'm here, I thought I would give a little bit more context around things. So it's been a busy couple of weeks. More recently, I was in Vienna for a couple of days visiting family. I then went to Mallorca for a friend's wedding. Left Mallorca on Sunday to come to London. I was in London for 2 nights, primarily to go to an event on Monday evening. I'm flying back because we've got a few things that we're launching for Como, relaunching the podcast. We also have the launch of Gala taking place on Thursday, which I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping that my jet lag isn't too bad, that I'm able to survive through it. And then there's also a deal that we're putting together for Playbook Ventures as well. So a lot of things happening, a lot of things that were pulling me back to being in Australia, as much as I would have loved to have been in London and Europe for a longer time period and enjoy the nicer weather, and especially there for London Tech Week. I just had to come back. Okay, and maybe to give some context, especially for those of you that are coming across me for the first time through this content. Hello, nice to meet you, and thank you for watching. My name's Rohit. I'm predominantly based in Melbourne, Australia. I have been making this joke for the last couple of weeks, but I wear a couple of different hats. One being the Startup Playbook podcast, which I've been hosting for next month. It'll be 10 years for the show. I also run an investment syndicate called Playbook Ventures, where we've been fortunate to invest into some really incredible, some of the fastest growing companies in Australia. And most of my time goes into a business called Como, where we take the same systems, performance infrastructure that we know works inside fast-growing businesses, but also in the world of sport and with elite athletes, and apply that not just to the business, but also to the individuals running the company, the founders, the executives, the senior leaders within an organization. And so there's I like being involved in a lot of different things, clearly, but I think the one thing that I sort of think about is what is the flywheel effect? And, I'm pretty fortunate that we've been able to set things up in a way where everything sort of feeds into each other. People listen to the podcast, they then come to us for investment. When they sort of scale and grow, they become Como members, or people that we get to sort of support in different ways and mechanisms, or people join Como, then become investors, those sort of things. And so it's a lot, sounds like a lot. I don't encourage it for everyone, but it's the way that I like operating. A big part of the reason why Como exists is because I was a textbook case study of doing all the things that you're not supposed to do, and being very sort of work first and everything else in my life second. And so it's something that I'm intentionally trying to work on, improve on. And yeah, I guess these last couple of weeks have been an example of that in terms of like how I'm trying to figure this out for myself. So what does success mean to me now compared to what it was like 10 years ago? So I think this is one of the big philosophies for me with the Como Club, is that it feels like people think about this in two ways. That either you focus on building a big successful company and focus on being successful and give up everything else, including your health, your relationships, just anything that makes life remotely interesting and fun. Or you focus on yourself, and as a result, there's no way that you can build a great business, where I just don't think that that's true. I think the two things go hand in hand, and my belief is that, you know, we often talk about, from an investment lens, how important the founders are and how they essentially decide the trajectory of the company. If that is the case, how they show up, not just on the first 3 months, the 6 months, 12 months, this is a 7 to 10 year journey. All of these things have a really, really big impact. And so if founders, business leaders, executives, all of these people are taking better care of themselves, not only are they doing this for themselves, these things will show up in the way that they are able to sustain and make even better quality decisions, be able to do this for longer, all of these things that will have a meaningful impact on the trajectory of the business. And so I don't think that my ambition has changed. Maybe the way that I do it is a little bit different, where previously I thought that I wanted to build, you know, huge teams, huge overhead stuff. Like, I think all of the things that I thought that other people would expect of me, or that other people mark as success, I think that I've got a much better understanding of what that looks like for me. But in terms of ambition and in growth, in terms of outcomes, I don't think that's changed at all. If anything, I think it's gotten even bigger. There are a few more questions that I wanted to answer, but I think I am the last person to board now, so I am going to put a pause there for the next 13 and a half hours. I'll get back to Melbourne and we'll do some more stuff when I'm back. See you on the other side. See you from Melbourne. Hi. Sure. Perfect. Thanks so much. Very late. Last person to board, I think. Hi there.
Good morning.
Morning. Thank you.
Mr. Rohit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Melbourne.
Alright, so landed back in Melbourne after a long flight from Dubai. Just on my way home now. Getting ready for a big couple of days with an event tomorrow, and then back on the road again from next week. So try and get some rest, get some food, and hopefully catch up on sleep as well. Today's Thursday, 11th of June, and I am right back at it. I wish that I could spend most of the day in bed, but as you can probably hear, there's a little bit of construction going on next door, which is a little bit frustrating. I would have gone into the office normally, but just with the event tonight, trying to get things sorted, me trying to squeeze in a bit of sleep when I can, just felt like it would probably make more sense for me to work out of the house. Now I'm just about to hop on a call with a company that we're looking to partner with for Como. Yeah, looking to see what we can do there.
I kind of know who you are just through like obviously there's very close connections, and I've always heard your name come up in conversations. But did you want to kind of talk me through, like, I guess, a bit of background and the kind of difference between Como and also like the startup playbook, and like how you know how you know, I guess, the relevant people.
Yeah, so all right, I am on my way to the LaunchVic gala, running a little bit late. I was meant to go to a pre-drinks event, but slept in because the jet lag was real. But hopefully I'm going to get there in time before it officially kicks off. And yeah, looking forward to meeting everyone, catching up with everyone, and hopefully being able to survive for the next few hours on very little sleep. It is freezing cold, but looks like I'm here. Centrepiece is in the same complex as the Australian Open. You can see Rod Laver Arena just over here, and that is where we're going.
And the sheer momentum that sees our Victorian startup ecosystem now valued at $139 billion.
Thanks, Paula. David was the fittest man I knew. He ran marathons, he ate well, he really cared about himself.
All right, so it is 1:30 in the morning. I have just made it home. You can probably see on my face, I am definitely starting to feel it now, but somehow I survived, made it up until now. The gala was great. Got to meet and catch up with a bunch of former Coma Club members, a bunch of other great people that I've known for a long time. Sam from Everlab, which is one of our portfolio companies for Playbook Ventures, was speaking as part of the showcase for the evening, and then went along to the after party, which is why I got home so late. But, all in all, the idea of kind of coming back early from London to partly come back for this gala, I think was definitely the right decision. A lot of great opportunities, lots of great follow-up. Someone that I've been sort of speaking to for a little while about coming on board with the program. I just had a chat with him as we were both in the Uber, and hopefully we'll get him across. I think he'll be a great addition to the program. And all in all, really, really positive. It was a great last event by Launchvic before the rebrand. And I wouldn't say good to be home. It's freezing, but glad I made this decision. And, who knows what would have happened in London, but definitely feel right now like this was the right decision to be here. So I'm glad I made the call and decided to be here. All right. I think time to head to bed now. So I'm going to call it, and I'll see you soon. So obviously this was a very big week with lots of things on. The fun part is that next week I get to do it all over again with plenty of travel and plenty of things on. But, as I reflect on this week and the theme of this week, which is trade-offs, I think one of the things that I'm trying to be a lot more conscious and deliberate about is recognizing that there isn't always a perfect decision. There is always an opportunity cost and a trade-off associated with whatever decision you make. But in particular, for me, trying to focus on getting better at making decisions around things that are actually deeply important and meaningful for me, not just decisions that make sense on a spreadsheet. But like I said, a work in progress and something that I want to continue working and developing for myself. But anyway, I just wanted to take this opportunity to say, if you're still sticking around and watching this, thank you for watching the first episode of Life Systems. This type of content and me sort of opening up and talking about things that I wouldn't normally talk about is definitely very uncomfortable and way out of my comfort zone, but an attempt for me to document and become more reflective on everything that's going on and be more, understand the sort of lessons and mistakes that I'm kind of making as part of that process, both for me, but also hopefully for those of you watching at home or wherever you're watching this, to hopefully not have to double up on some of the mistakes and lessons that I'm making through that process as well. But, I would love to hear from you in terms of, if there's particular parts of this that resonated with you or didn't resonate with you, or things you want me to cover in more detail in future episodes or spend less time on. But just wanted to say thank you. The aim of this series is to publish weekly. So if you'd like to follow along, subscribe and you'll be notified around future episodes as soon as they go live. But once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next episode.